And something you mentioned is that as you get more successful, you have less friends.
Right.
Because they're not your friends. They always want something from you. And I was just wondering if you can expand around it.
So what happens is, well, for me at least, the more successful I became, I call them cockroaches. Bottom feeders, people who were like, you know what, this guy worked his ass off. He did it, he worked his ass off, but I didn't. So let me see if I can just attach myself to him or her, whoever worked their ass off, whoever spent those hours, those years trying to become whoever they are. And then you have these people who are like, you know what? Oh, I'm your friend. So where can I fit into all of this? You know, where can I get on your team? There's a lot of those people once you become very successful and they come out of the woodworks and they have these great ideas, these great plans, but they ain't put any work into it. But you put the work into it. You're the commodity. So that's kind of where that comes from, you know, just from firsthand experience. And also, the more successful you become, the less time you have. Because to become very successful, it takes everything, especially if you want to stay at the top. Stay at the top, you have to continue to grind. You can't be like, oh, I made it, I'm here, I'm done. 24 hours in a day, and most of those hours are spent grinding in your business, grinding at whatever you do, and your family. There's not much room for anything else. It is about getting those f***ers out of your life. And your ego will destroy you. I had one, a lot of us have one, a lot of us alpha males have an ego. We're driven by ego, a lot of us. But what happens is we want people to like us. And that is the biggest downfall in business. To be a leader, not everybody's gonna like you. To get from point A to point B very successfully, you're gonna piss people off. And the one big thing I found out in life is when you're grinding hard, if you're hearing all these different voices from all these different people because you wanna make everybody happy, you're gonna implode your business. You're gonna implode yourself. So, and one thing about it is you said you wanna help people. That is a great businessman. Great businessman. If your true goal in life is to help people first, the money, the fame, people liking you, if it is I want to truly help people, you will be very successful. Financially, in every other, but your first real passion has to be people first. Not like it's a f***ing slogan. It has to come out of you. You have to believe this. People first. Once you really want to become uncommon amongst the best people in the world, you can't give yourself a way out. A common individual can stay on point for a year and they fall off. That's normal. It's that uncommon person that has, oh, how long have you, well, I haven't taken the off in 6 years. You don't hear that very often. That's how you start to separate yourself. So to separate yourself, you can't allow yourself to say, oh man, for some reason, I let myself go for a week and then I have a hard time getting back. You have to put in your mind that I don't want to be that person anymore. For me to separate myself from everybody, that's what most people do. Most people cannot be like, oh, I'm not missing a day regardless, because if I miss today, I'm gonna miss tomorrow. And I know that about myself. So come hell or high water, I'm gonna get it in. And you have to get the mindset of it haunts you if you don't get it in. So it's the preparation that you put into your entire life that gets you ready for the unprepared. So what does that mean? If every day you're getting up and you're sacrificing and you're pushing hard and you're exceeding these limits every day in everything you do, your mind is slowly getting calloused. Callous is like, so my hands are calloused from doing pull-ups. And you can callous your mind by continuously pushing hard at whatever you do. So calluses protect your hands. Calluses can protect your mind too. If you're constantly pushing hard, the second this crazy thing comes up you're not ready for it, you really are ready for it. Because your mind's like, oh, we done harder shit than this. We can handle this also. Most people who are failing are trying their ass off. Most people who are failing are being criticized by people who haven't attempted what you're even trying to fail at. So what I'm failing at, so after I did 2,500 pull-ups my first time going for the record.
Yep.
You know how many people were criticizing me?
Eating chips on the
can't
couch.
Even do a pull-up. Look at your audience who's criticizing you, first of all. They're not even in your world. You don't even talk to me. Block them out. That's the first thing. The second thing is through failure, you get all the answers.
You get all the lessons.
All of them.
Yes.
They're all there.
Yes.
I don't even call it failure. I don't, because I don't look at it like, my God, I failed. No, I look at, okay, like trying to invent the fucking light bulb. What's failure? I'm trying to invent a fucking light bulb. I'm trying to break 4,020 pull-ups. That's failure? Anything you do along that way is amazing. That's how you gotta look at failure. You gotta look at it very differently. So for me, I have a scrap piece of paper and I'm going back through this stuff. I'm okay, check, I didn't make the goal. Okay, boom, boom, boom. The next time I did 3,200 pull-ups. Okay, I'm still 800 shy of the record. 800 shy of the record now. So I went from 25 to 3,200 and I gotta get to 4,020. Boy, that's a long way away. But
And your body's breaking down.
Left and right. But I got that whiteboard out again and I started writing down. Okay, what did I do wrong this time? What did I do wrong this time? You cannot look at it as failure. Even though you didn't get what you wanted, all you're doing is examining ways to become successful at this particular thing. You're trying to master something. It's not failure. You're trying to become the master of a particular thing. It's not failing. Whenever you're trying to master something, there's a process. Because that person, let's say your son, for instance, tennis player, if your son has the right attitude and he keeps on coming back with the right attitude, no one wants to play that. No one wants to fight a person that just keeps coming after you. Every time you knock them down, they don't look at it as being knocked down. They have a whole different way of looking at that shit. That's a scary person. You don't want to fight that person. So that's how I looked at my pull-up records, and I failed everything at least 3 to 4 times. My whole life, I never passed anything once. Ever in my life have I gone through and been the first time at anything. Ever. But that's what gave me that book.
I mean, say
that's what gave me a story.
How do you pick the next challenge?
The next challenge is usually the toughest thing out there. The thing I don't want to do the most.
Yeah.
So my challenges come off of, what am I afraid of?
Yeah.
What am I kind of cowering from? What am I looking at saying,
Yeah.
Because we all know what it is. It's in the back of your mind. It kind of floats back there. It's like, you know, for some of us, it's as simple as I don't want to get up and run today. That's what's next.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always, what am I not wanting to do? And that's how I continue to grow.